Test, test. If I could please have the Stribling family members, Board of Trustees, and distinguished guests up here to sit here in the front. If you'll join us, please. As well as the Baum family. Hey, Phil, how you doing? You can sit just anywhere you'd like, sir. Yes, please. Would you still like to have the 12 sit down, please? Anyone else who needs to sit rather than stand, you may take a seat as well. Anyone who needs a seat, please go ahead and take. Any friends or formal faculty members or friends of Colonel Stribling, please have a seat. Brian Baum, if you'll join your parents. Any faculty or formal faculty members, please have a seat. And we'll get started shortly. Thank you.
Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started. This is truly an honor for me, and it's so special today to have Winnie here and Phil, members of the family, some of the faculty who knew Colonel Stribling. It's been a real honor for me to be involved in this, but I have done little. But I do want to recognize Greg Morton and the facilities crew, along with Cheryl Morris, our art teacher and well-known local artist who did the actual artist rendition for positioning the statue to complement Javier's artistic skills and Phil Baum's donation of the materials to make this statue possible. I know it's hot out there, but can you imagine last year in the spring, I was out here with Cheryl and Greg for about an hour trying to figure out exactly where we wanted to position the statue. And I'll share with you why this statue is where it is and why it's facing in the direction that it's facing. As for Javier Campuzano, he inspired all of us and future generations of cadets. He stated that what inspired him to do the sculpture was to send the message that Colonel Stribling was an example, mentor, and brother to all of us. It meant a lot that he was also a cadet at the Academy. Javier wanted to portray Colonel Stribling as a father figure guiding cadets, close to the core, and portray the respect he had for him as the president. Javier also stated that the colonel was also a down-to-earth person to whom one could talk. He was an approachable leader. Javier wanted the statue to symbolize Colonel Stribling's greatness as a leader, mentor, and role model, having had a positive impact on thousands of alumni throughout his service at MMA. To maintain Colonel Stribling's legacy, front and center for all of our current and future cadets, we place the statue in a place where every cadet walks by every day, from the barracks to the classroom. Every day, frankly, just about all of us walk by this wonderful, beautiful statue. It's no accident that Colonel Stribling is looking towards senior walk. I am sure with a sense of pride, looking down on all of the MMA graduates now and in the future. To emphasize the importance of the statue, we designated the brick around the statue to be treated the same as the bricks on senior walk. Furthermore, those cadets who do not meet the high standards set forth by Colonel Stribling may find themselves in full dress uniform, standing at parade rest, facing the statue to reflect on how they might work to abide by MMA's rules and regulations. We've already had a couple cadets test run that. And by the way, how long they stand at parade rest in dress uniform will be designated by the Commandant or myself. I will tell you, this is such a wonderful addition to our beautiful campus. It's a very special day, and I'm glad to be part of this. There was a lot of work and thought that went into this, and again, I want to emphasize the facilities crew, and even when we were trying to figure out how we were going to match the wonderful base, and I don't know all the names of our contributors, we recognized them at the lunch, who contributed to helping us with the granite base. But we worked, and with Greg and his folks, I think the black granite on the bottom really sets it off, and just it blends in with the words on the side of the granite. So we're really proud of this. I think this is an important picture of our wonderful cadets standing behind Colonel Stribling as he's led the way for so many cadets and their future. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Greg. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Geraci. I'd like to acknowledge Winnie Stribling, the widow of Colonel Stribling, the Baum family, members of the Board of Trustees that are currently present, faculty and staff. And if I could have the committee members that were on the Colonel Stribling statue and then later the Colonel Stribling Memorial Fund Committee, if you could come back here and stand with me, please. We have Mr. Hunter Jenkins, our new president, our secretary, Chris Schaefer, class of '89, and Rob Farnham, our new vice president, and then Kurt Bilsell, class of '81. A year before the passing of Colonel Charles Stribling III, the Alumni Association Board of Directors began discussing ways in which we may pay tribute to the man who played such an integral part of our lives as a teacher, president, mentor, and friend when the time came for him to leave this world. We discussed a variety of tributes, but the one that we all kept coming back to was a statue of him. So we formed a committee, which is, as a board, that's what we do for just about everything now. And we began researching how we could accomplish this. So what you see before you is a result of that committee, a result of the love that we all have for Colonel Stribling, the financial support of Mr. Phil Baum, class of '63, the artistic interpretation, and skill of Javier Campuzano, class of '82, the donations of Terry Logue, Dr. Greg Temple, Ricardo Uriegas, Len Jenkins, and Hunter Jenkins, the vision of General Geraci and the hard work of Greg Morton and his grounds crew. Each and every one of them played an integral role in having this ready for this tribute today for this great man. Charles R. Stribling III was born on March 29, 1927 in Mexico, Missouri, the son of the late Colonel Charles R. Stribling II and Ruth Cawthorn Stribling. He was a great-great-grandson of Admiral Cornelius K. Stribling, the superintendent of the United States Naval Academy from 1851 to 1853, and a great-grandson of Benjamin R. Cawthorn of Mexico, Missouri, one of the founders of Missouri Military Academy in 1889. His first home, from what I've been told, was just over his left shoulder in the old Alpha Company, where his family lived. I can think of no better place for the statue, as it is placed directly in front of the windows he would have looked out as a small boy. Colonel Stribling III attended Missouri Military Academy and graduated in 1944 and went on to the United States Navy, where he served from 1945 to 1946. After leaving the service, he attended the University of Missouri, where he received a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Journalism before returning to the Academy in 1952. He served for 16 years as instructor, coach, public relations, and alumni director, commandant of cadets, and vice president and executive officer. In 1968, he succeeded his father as president of Missouri Military Academy and headed the academy for 25 years from 1968 to 1993, during which time Missouri Military Academy was designated as exemplary private school in 1985 by the United States Department of Education. In 1993, he retired and continued as chairman of the Academy's Board of Trustees, of which he has been a member since 1949. He had served as president of the Association of Military Colleges and Schools of the United States and the Missouri Independent Schools Association, chairman of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and the Missouri Division of American Cancer Society. He was an American Cancer Society volunteer for more than 35 years. And in 1986, the American Cancer Society honored him with its premier St. George Award in recognition of outstanding contributions to the control of cancer. He had been president or chairman of 10 local civic organizations, including the Mexico Jaycees, Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club, Country Club, Cancer Society, Heart Association, Historical Society, Mexico Adrain Library Board, National Foundation, the March of Dimes, and Mexico Recreation Corporation. The Mexico Chamber of Commerce presented him with its Ambassador Award in 1978, Community Service Award in 1980, and Philanthropic Achievement Award in 1997. The Missouri Chamber of Commerce selected him as one of the state's 4 outstanding young men in 1957 and named him Outstanding Local JC President in 1961. The University of Missouri-Columbia presented him its Alumni Achievement Award in 1990. He was a member of Beta Theta Pi Social Fraternity and was a director of the organization's Zeta Phi Foundation at Missouri University. In 1975, he was awarded a Doctor of Laws degree by William Woods College in Fulton for leadership, commitment, and integrity in furthering the ideals of his community in the field of education. He had served as a director of Commerce Bank since 1977 and was a deacon, elder, and trustee at the First Presbyterian Church, where he had been an active member for more than 60 years. Since 1964, Colonel Stribling had been chairman of the 9th Congressional District Service Academy Advisory Committee under Congressman William Hungate, Harold Volkmer, and Kenny Holshoff. I read this to you so that you can see he was so much more than just our president, teacher, mentor, friend, and brother. Colonel Stribling touched the lives of each and every one of us here today, even those who never knew him. It was through his leadership that Missouri Military Academy continues to exist today. In a world where all-boy military academies closed at blinding speed, it stands as one of the last bastions of education, where boys are taught to be men, to be disciplined, to be gentlemen and scholars. Without the vision of Colonel Stribling, this place could never have survived. We all owe it to him to remember him and his service to Missouri Military Academy. With this statue, we hope that each time you return home, you will take time to look upon it and remember him in your own way, whether it to be as the president of the school, your English teacher, your mentor, your coach, or your friend, as some of you were fortunate enough to be. But all alumni should remember him as your brother as well. Colonel Stribling, may no son forget thy name. Please join me in singing our alma mater, Old MMA. No school shall dim thy fame, no sun shall give thee shame, no sun forget thy name, Old MMA. Our hearts are bound to thee in love and loyalty. Steadfast our sun shall be for MMA. Thank you all very much. Please take time to come out, take a look at the statue. What you've got here is Colonel Stribling, and the cadet was modeled after Cadet Phil Baum, who is present here today. Thank you all very much.